self-control. You take my soul, you take my 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 self-control. From where you are, you see the smoke start to arise where they play cards, and you walk over softly, moving past the guards. The stakes are getting higher, you can feel it in your heart. He calls you bluff, he is the ace you never thought he played that much. And now it's more than all these cards you want to touch. You'll never know if winning this could really be enough. Take a look beyond the moon, you'll see the stars. When you look around, you know my heart. I have never dreamed it. Have you ever dreamed a night like this? I cannot believe it. I may never see a night like this. When everything you think is incomplete starts happening when you are cheek to cheek. Could you ever dream it? I have never dreamed a night like this. How many times have I been waiting by the door to hear these chimes, to hear that someone debonair has just arrived and opened up to see my world before my eyes. That silhouette creates an image of the night I can't forget. It has the scent of something special, I can't rest.
So we are ready to go with the prize-giving presentation of the big tour of the Nations Cup Juniors, de prijsuitreiking.
It seems I'm not alone. In front of me he stands, I stop before he goes. I have never dreamed it. Have you ever dreamed a night like this? I cannot believe it. I may never see a night like this. When every
33 deelnemers, 33 runners in total. The big tour of the First Nations Cup qualifier juniors. 33 runners in total. Leading time, victory time voor Belgium. Winst voor België, Flora Dumesny en winst voor Louise Ameu. It is an international prize-giving ceremony and during the youth finals at Oslo Force events. Please be attentive for the national anthem, and which is the victory for Belgium.
did my best to notice when the call came down the line up to the platform of surrender. I was bold but I was kind, and sometimes I get nervous when I see an open door. Close your eyes, clear your heart. Cut the cord, are we human?
Boe, La Belgique, België, Louise Ameu. En dan gaan we over tot het feliciteren. Dan nodigen we Lotte uit. Lotte Scharlaken voor het organiseren het comité van het Azelhof. De prijsuitreiking, de huldiging out of the organizing committee. De prize-giving ceremony en de Belgian victory. Louise Ameu, Flora Dumesny als winnares van de rubriek Nations Cup Big Tour Junioren. Naar mannen, tweede plaats. Dan hebben we Meibel van Molenhof die zit op 2 met Louise Leenaerts in het klassement voor vandaag op de Stifix Arena. Troisième la Suisse, Celia Biachi. Fourth we have United States Alexa L. Lignali. Fifth Robert Russell. Ines van Dijk staat op 6. Verdere eindlaureaten in de huldiging prijsuitreiking van die Nations Cup junioren. Zo, dankjewel Lotte om het feliciteren. We hebben nog één iets in petto, de ereronde. Toeg d'honneur, pour la Belgique voor België met Louise Armeux. Big Tour Nations Cup junioren. België op 1. Flora Dumesny pour la Belgique. Louise Armeux. Louise Leenaerts, Celia Biachi, Alexa El Lignali en Ines van Dijk. Zo, einde van de Big Tour, de Nations Cup kwalificatie junioren. Wel de parcoursbouwer Henk Linders en zijn team die gaan het alweer voorbereiden. Eerste scenario bij de Young Runners komt er zo dadelijk aan. 11:30, half 12. Half past 11, first qualifier for the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final Young Runners. 44 runners in total. Half past 11.
Fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. You give me fever, fever. Fever, fever, fever. Fever life is drifting along, watching the world as it's singing its song. High above, someone is calling to me. Life is for living and living is free. You to me are like the sun in the sky. See how you fly, you have wings on your own. You and me, our love will last without end. Ride with the wind, won't you follow me home? Turn around and see the circles we spin, and we're taking our chances on where we begin. Up above, the rain is falling on me. Life is for living and living is free. Drifting along, watching the world as it's singing its song. High above, someone is calling to me. Life is for living and living is free. You to me are like the sun in the sky. See how you fly, you have wings on your own. You and me, our love will last without end. Ride with the wind, won't you follow me home? Turn around and see the circles we spin, and we're taking our chances on where we begin. Up above, the rain is falling on me. Life is for living and living is free.
Girl, I got you so high, and I know you like. So come on, push it on me if it feels alright. When you drop it low and break me off, no, she doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. Girl, I got you so. Pull you close to me, be my remedy. Gotta admit that I crave a sympathy. Try me, come on, just give me a chance to make you fall for me. You're just playing hard to get. You know that I fall for it, but I know you're down for this. Hands up high, we burning up the sky. We got the dance all crazy, got the club on fire. I like the way you dance, you got me in a trance. My baby, she don't mind at all. Girl, I got you so high, and I know you like. So come on, push it on me if it feels alright. When you drop it low and break me off, no, she doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. Girl, I got you so high, and I know you like. So come on, push it on me if it feels alright. When you drop it low and break me off, no, she doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. Tell me am I your girl? All of the stars you align, yeah, girl. Want you beside all the time, don't waste any time. Put my pride on side, yeah, girl. You're just playing hard to get. You know that I fall for it, but I know you're down for this. Hands up high, we burning up the sky. We got the dance all crazy, got the club on fire. I like the way you dance, you got me in a trance. My baby, she don't mind at all. Girl, I got you so high, and I know you like. So come on, push it on me if it feels alright. When you drop it low and break me off, no, she doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. Girl, I got you so high, and I know you like. So come on, push it on me if Picking up, making love, love, love. Put it on paper, playing on and on. Just start with dreaming, you end up winning. Waking up, every day, day, day.
I will make my way. I'm trying to survive night to day in this big crazy world. Let my music show you what I'm really worth. Waking up, every day, day, day. I will make my way. I'm trying to survive night to day. I've got all my life to live and I've got all my love to give. I will survive. I will survive.
Turn it up, every night, night, night. Gotta burn this bill up. I'm light. I start with dreaming and end up winning. Waking up, every day, day, day.
Turn it up, every night, night, night. Gotta buy this bill of I'm light. I start with dreaming and end up winning. Waking up, every day, day, day. I will make my way. I'm trying to survive night to day in this big crazy world. Let my music show you what I'm really worth. Waking up, every day, day, day. I will make my way. I'm trying to survive night to day. I've got all my life to live and I've got all my love to give. I will survive. I will survive. I've got all my life to live and I've got all my love to give. I will survive. I will survive. I will make my way. I'm trying to survive night to day. I've got all my life to live and I've got all my love to give. I will survive. I will survive. I will survive. I want you to love me like I'm a hot ride. Yeah. Be thinking of me, doing what you like. So boy, forget about the world, 'cause it's gonna be me and you tonight. Yeah. I wanna make you beg for it, then I'ma make you swallow your pride.
So our second Nations Cup will be the Nations Cup for young riders, the FEI Jumping Nations Cup final at Aslof Horse event. We will have 11 teams in the young riders. That means 44 riders in the first round, the first qualifier. And this first round, 12 fences, 15 efforts, 44 riders in total. And we only have a countdown on 3 minutes before the start of the first qualifying of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final voor Young Riders. Met Young Riders zijn we zo dadelijk aanbeland. We hebben 11 teams. 11 teams aan de beurt, 44 deelnemers. Een parcoursomloop van 1 tot en met 12 over de 15 hindernissen. Zo dadelijk krijgen we de lengte en de toegestane tijd. En a couple of minutes we will have the time allowed for the first qualifying and the Nations Cup Young Riders. Zo dadelijk dus die eerste kwalificatie voor de landenwedstrijd bij Young Riders. 11 teams, 44 deelnemers. En dat binnen hier in 3 minuten voor de start.
Baby, I'll tell you all my secrets, what I'm keeping, you can come inside. And when you enter, you will leave and be my prisoner for the night.
night together from now on till forever. Boom, 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 boom. I wanna go boom, boom. Let's spend the night together, together in my room. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together from now on till forever. Boom, 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 boom. I wanna go boom, boom. Let's spend the night together, together in my room, 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 room. La 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 da la la da, la 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 da 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 da, la 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 da la la da, la 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 da 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 da, la 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 da la la da, la 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 da 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 da, la 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 da la la da, la 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 da la la da. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together from now on till forever. Boom, 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 boom. I wanna go boom, boom. Let's spend the night together, together in my room. La 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 da la la da, la 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 da 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 da, la 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 da la la da, la 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 da 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 da.
So riders, 70 Gibbs, the arena, close to for inspection. The first qualifying round of the Nations Cup final for young riders. 11 teams, 44 riders in total. 12 fences, 15 efforts. Zo dadelijk dus eerste kwalificatieronde van de landenwedstrijd bij young riders. Hier op Azolov Horse Events, de junioren hadden we al gezien. 5 teams daar foutloos. En de juniors Nations Cup, we had 5 teams clear after the first qualifying. Now the first qualifying for young riders. 44 riders to go. 44 participants. De lengte bedraagt 490 meter. Dat is ook allemaal niet onbelangrijk om te weten. 12 vinders die 15 sprongen. Een toegestane tijd van 79. The distance on 490. And we will have a tumble out on 79 seconds. 490 mètres, la distance et le temps accordé 79 secondes, 79 secondes. First round of the Nations Cup Young Riders.
Is it like the ocean with devotion? Are you? How deep is your love? Is it like Nirvana? Hit me harder again. How deep?
Dear riders, are you ready? First qualifier round of the Jumping Nations Cup Final Youth Young Riders. 44 riders, 11 teams in total. A course about 12 fences and 15 efforts. We will have a double on fence 3. We will have a triple combination on fence 6. We have a distance of 490 and a tumble out of 79 seconds. First qualifier round, the Nations Cup, the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Young Riders.
Welcome along to FEI TV, everybody. Delighted to have you with us here this week. We are live with you at the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Finals for Youth. It is day 1 of 4 and the opening day for the qualifier, the preliminary, the first round for the Nations Cup teams. We have already seen the juniors this morning. It's the turn of the young riders over the course of this season, which had 8 rounds in the young riders that saw them go from Belgium to France to the Czech Republic, Austria, Norway, Italy, the Netherlands and Germany. We've seen 16 different nations involved, and here in the final you can also add in a 17th nation because of the USA. There are a total of 10 European teams and the USA, making 11 teams starting out in this opening round. 6 of those will qualify to go forward to the final on Sunday, but that will be a qualification over this round today and the second round tomorrow. The remaining teams. The remaining 5 teams will go into the Challenge Cup on Saturday. Well, here we go. Time allowed 79 seconds. Geraldine Strummen is getting us started as first in the draw. Currently in a knot, team for Switzerland. This is Coloma Z, and they're jumping a height of 1.45 meters. Geraldine, who took Long John Silver to the Europeans this year. Former team silver medalist back in the Junior Europeans of 2021. Giving us a little bit of an indication as to how this course is, and I have to say full marks to Henk Linders on the junior course earlier. Got a really good result from that. Reverse that line, now down to this parallel. And the water coming right towards the end of the course, 12 numbered fences. Stretch over the water, and then down they come all the way to that plank. Safe and sound, 79 is the time allowed. That was certainly safe inside. It'll be a happy news story for the Swiss, so they'll be delighted. Sweden are the course nation trying to defend the title they won here 12 months ago. The Swiss won it back in 2018. Next to go is Italy. They are yet to win this final, but they did finish second back in 2022 in the Challenge Cup. And the Italians this year finishing 5th on the overall standings. Highlight for them being second place in Italy. Martina Ferrari is the first of the Italian team. Alonco Hero Z is the name of the horse. These teams will be desperate to get a good start. In most cases, I would have expected them to go strong with their opening riders. These two, again, European team riders this year. She finished with this horse individually inside the top 20 at those Europeans. It was her 5th appearance at a Youth European Championship. They've also had some good individual results, including second in the Young Riders Grand Prix in Busto back in May. But sadly, that combination costing them a score of 4. Nice confident stride down from the water to the plank at the end. 4 is the score. Of course, as we all know, I'm sure if you don't, just to make sure you do, one of the scores from the 4 will be discarded, so it's the best 3 scores from the team that count. So, even after the first rider's gone in each of the teams, whether they're clear or not, all the teams could yet still finish on a 0 score. We'll see how it begins to evolve. Well, next to go is Mathieu Guéry riding Calac de Cimarol, his European Championship ride that was part of the bronze medal winning team. Of course, he had a brilliant start on the first day of those Young Rider Europeans in the speed leg. Came out on top. He still finished inside the top 20 at the end of it all. Belgium will be hoping for a similarly strong start. Belgium, who won this title in 2022 in the Young Riders. Last year it was 3rd, but still on the podium for the Young Rider division for Belgium. Well done to them. Well done indeed. It is, though, a score of 4, so keeping it to just the one fence down. Matthew Gurry and Callach de Cimarol. Tabitha Kyle next to go for Great Britain, their pathfinder in the team this year. Tabitha, who has, of course, had a lot of success as part of youth teams for Great Britain, including with this wonderful horse Destiny, which she rode to children's team bronze back in 2021, and then again as part of the junior team both last year and this year. This year she also finished individually 6th at the Europeans. She's had a tremendous track record for Great Britain, and Claire Whitaker putting her at the front of the line to try and get the team off and running to a strong start. Good job just balancing the horse off that corner. Saw the stride she wanted a long way away and made it to the finish perfectly. Well done, Tabitha Kyle. Destiny then is clear. So a nice strong start for the British team and the Swiss team so far, both those teams jumping clear. Well, we move our attention now to Denmark, the 5th of our teams to come forward, and it is Cecily Carrier riding U Amon Z. The young rider team with this horse this year. She's ridden on a couple of children's European Championship teams in the past as well, in Slovakia and in Ireland. So with an early fence now, just looking to try and keep it at the 4. Just the one, but it is at least just one down rather than increasing that score. Cecily Carrier there. U Amon Z, so very jumpable course, but it is still there just to punish you if you get a little bit of balance or make a little mistake. The next to go is going to be the Dutch rider, part of Vincent Vaughan's team, Vincent the chef de keep. This is Wesley de Boer riding Karin. Who has been a team gold medalist at children's level, a team silver medalist at junior level. This year the Dutch team just missed out on the podium, in fact finishing 4th in the young riders. Netherlands this year having she is, so it's the perfect start for Team USA. Well done to Mia, delivering in the pathfinder position then with Ballier Skill big bucks, so congratulations. Super performance so far. We have seen clear rounds then for Switzerland's first rider. We've seen Great Britain's first rider go clear, and now the USA's first rider. Next up, it's the first of the riders for Austria, Thomas Himmelmeyer. Papillon d'Azur, European ride this season. apart from having that fence down, I was going to say he was part of that Austrian team that went so well in Linz. It was the one outing on the league this year that Austria put in. They all coalesced at home and won the Young Rider title there. Time penalties though, just that little bit too slow. Picked up 3 on the clock as well as the 4 for jumping. So Thomas Simmerlemere picking up a total of 7 overall. The times look relatively comfortable, but I guess if you are just going a little bit wide or just taking it a little bit too slowly, the time's going to come round and catch you as well. Well, the next nation in this opening rotation of riders, first rider from each of the teams, it is Poland's turn. Natalia Sido riding Nico Gold. She rode first one at the Europeans this summer. And this was the horse she rode on the Nations Cup in Linz. Well, the time certainly looks good. One more fence to jump. Jumped it well, so it's the perfect start for Poland. As Natalia Sidio then also jumping a clear round, so well done to them. 2 more riders to go, 2 more teams to go in the this first rotation, so the first rider from each of the teams. And it's going to be the team for Spain next up. On the podium in Centaur this year, in Belgium at the beginning of the season, and also Spain. Oh, apologies, no, it was on the podium in Italy, in Busto-Rizzio, is where the Spanish finished on the podium. This part of their rider that was part of their young rider team. Different horse though, this is Victoria d'Argent for Juan Riva Gil. This horse to Guijon the other week. Jumped at the final here last year with this horse. Well, this final, of course, last year was held at Centaur. Clear round, nicely clear, and that's a great start for the Spanish and Juan Carrillo's team. Beginning there with Juan Riva Gil and Victoria d'Argent getting a perfect start. So one more team to introduce. It's the team that are looking to defend the title here at the FEI Jumping Nations Cup of Youth for the Young Riders in 2024. The team that won it 12 months ago, Sweden. Sweden, who also had the win this season in Drammen in Norway back in May. First of the riders, Ebba Kawenta, riding Helios. Ebba, who rode at her 4th European Championships in the youth this year, having 3 times ridden at children's level, made her young rider debut. And we come to the combination. Parallel in, 2 strides a little bit short, and then 1 stride out over those 2 uprights. Well, they are certainly putting a marker down in the defence of the title from 12 months ago. Yes, there's a lot of jumping to come, but Ebba getting the clear, certainly setting them on path for Sweden. Well done. So that means we've seen the first rider go from each of the teams. That means all the teams could still finish on 0 if they continue to get clears. But the teams that have at least made their life a little easier by getting a clear, Sweden, Spain, Poland, USA, Great Britain, and this team, Switzerland. Back to the beginning we go. Second rider for the Swiss, after Geraldine Strummen's clear, is Jonas Tufenoir, riding Canna 5, as we start again with this second rotation of riders. Put in a good performance in the under-25s in Zurich in August, where they were winners, and then went on to take 6th in the Grand Prix.
All the crazy shit I did tonight, those will be the best memories.
Quite brilliant. 2 out of 2. The Swiss certainly looking very, very strong indeed. The 2018 title winners are certainly off and running with the 2 clears so far. And they'll be over the moon with that. Well done, Jonas. So great news for Switzerland. Next to go is Italy. They could do with a clear. They picked up 4 with Martina Ferrari. Now it's Tommaso Alca as the second rider, joining us with Heavy Plot. Clear an 8 on the team that finished 4th in Linz. Through the combination.
Those will be the best memories.
Just what Italy will have wanted to make sure that they can still aim for a 0 as they get the clear. So up comes the scoreboard. You can see the 4 discarded and Tommaso's score of a 0, leaving the final 2 to perform in a short while. Meanwhile, Belgium, similar boat to Italy, having picked up 4 with Matthew Gary, will now have Evelyn Peters as the second of the riders, part of the bronze medal winning team this year at the Young Riders. Previously, though, has twice ridden on gold medal winning teams in juniors in 2021 and 2022. In fact, in 2022, Evelyn was also the individual bronze medalist. In fact, she's never been to a championships at youth level at Europeans and not won a medal, because her first championships in the children's category was back in 2018, and she was on the bronze medal winning team there. She's certainly been a medal magnet at youth European level, showing quite a lot of strength here in this team for Belgium. 10-year-old gelding came here, in fact, to the 3-star and jumped in the Grand Prix with this horse. I think it was, checking my dates, it would have been last week. And actually jumped a nice double clear to finish in 5th place. These two won the Grand Prix in Ziderwald. Well done. Very well done indeed. Belgium back in the game and not falling behind in any way, shape or form, because their clear round means that they also can continue towards a 0 score, which is exactly what the first of the riders for Great Britain delivered for Claire Whitaker's team. A clear from Tampa for Kyle here in the Young Riders has set them up rather nicely for their second rider, hopefully to follow suit. It is Kira Stout next up with KI Context. Combination who were jumping in Step X, would it be 2 weeks ago? Had a very good run in London alongside the Royal Chelsea Hospital this year, where they... Oh no, it's all gone terribly wrong. I was about to say they finished 3rd in London. I mean, they've had some good Grand Prix results, double clear in Cannes in the 2-star there and finished 5th, but today just getting in a right muddle at that triple bar. And of course, not only is it 4 for the stop, it's 6 seconds added into the clock, which potentially or almost inevitably will bring up time penalties. And of course, as part of a team, it's not like you can allow yourself just to retire really, unless there's a reason due to the fitness of the horse or rider to do so, because you want to get something on the board. It's a really testing moment. I think that was the bell to start things off. I'll wait for somebody to correct me, but I have a feeling this could well be Kira's debut on a British team as well here this week. Really positive, well done. 79 the time allowed. She's done well, actually, because in fairness, it was her fence that went, you know, she had to come back to the triple bar. It was the fence after that that went down on the restart. And yes, the rest comes from the clock. Here is Stout then will hold the discard. A little bit more pressure, though, on the final two riders for Great Britain there if they're looking to try and deliver the 0. Meanwhile, we will move on, because after Great Britain, we go back to the Danish team. And Denmark, who started with Cecily Kjær's score of 4. I'll be hoping just to press on a little bit here. Comaron Z. His junior European ride back in 2022. He rode a different horse, Better Gardens Gladiola, at the Young Riders this year. What about that? What a great round for Denmark. So they now also put a clear round up there with their second rider, and it's keeping it all pretty tight and even at the top in terms of teams, after 2 riders still being able to finish on a 0 score. What about the Dutch? They are going to need a clear if they're going to follow with that philosophy because of the 5 penalties from Wesley de Boer. Their second rider is Fleur Hulleman. And Fleur riding here with Baltic. Part of the team as well in the summer with this horse. Her 3rd European outing.
Close your eyes, let's forget again. As you drag me down, I will take you in. What are you waiting for? Just surrender here tonight. What are you waiting for? As we go to once alive. What are you waiting for?
Well, they'll be delighted with the Dutch so far.
Close your eyes.
And unfortunately, that's going to be the first fence that's fallen that has to count as it does so. Well, there we have it. It is a score of 4-4 at the moment for the Netherlands. Still holding that 5 as a discard. We'll see what Logan and Finn can do in due course. The USA are up next. Of course, got off to the perfect start with Mia's round on Ballyskill Big Bucks. That clear. Now the turn of Laurel Walker and Amani as the second of the riders out. Individual young rider bronze this year, junior team gold last year with this horse at those North American Championships.
reminds me of childhood memories where everything was fresh as the bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. And if I stare too long, I'll probably break down and cry. Oh, sweet child of mine. Sweet love.
What a start it is, and what a brilliant performance again for the USA with their second rider, Laurel Walker, showing a lot of class and jumping a clear. So the USA, who won the title here in the final in 2019, are after two riders, still on zero, with both riders clear, and the only other team that's done that so far is the Swiss. Meanwhile, we move our attention now to Austria. This is Karlovenko riding Schiquelli. Austria's first rider, Thomas Hillenwehr, picking up a total of 7. And that 8, well, it brings the 7 into play, so the score now after this round for the Austrian team will be 7. Just it on the clock, but only just, but it is an 8. They'll discard for the moment, Carla. But Thomas's score comes into play. Austria then on a mark of 7 with 2 riders to jump, looking in a slightly difficult boat. Of course, the total today and then the total tomorrow in the second round will be added together. That's how we find the 6 teams that will go into the final on Sunday. Next up, it is Poland and Oliver Blul riding XL Van Artichoke Z. Now, Poland, who did start with a clear round from Natalia Sido, will be trying to be the third team to get 2 riders clear in these early rounds of jumping. Rail going, bringing up a score of 8 now. Poland, as we said, they are on a 0, so it's just that ability to get 2 0 scores on the board that's gone for the moment. So 8 it is, as Austria there with, sorry, Poland there with Oliver Blue. 2 more teams to go in the second rotation of riders. Patricia Hassis Camara next to go, riding for Spain. First to the Spanish team was Juan Riva Gil. Juan jumped to clear. So this is Dalcini Platier. From the Young Rider Nations Cup in Zuideveld. Also jumped here at the final 12 months ago. And the final was in Centaur, the youth finals. First part of the combination, though, bringing up that score of 4. Well, they finish with a total of 12, but as we can see, Patricia's score can be held off that scorecard. But Ignacio and Maria both with a big job to do in those final 2 rounds. Ebba Nielsen is up next for our defending title holders, Sweden. We've seen Emma Kortenet jump a clear to put the Swedes on track. But now with Kathleen as the second of the riders for Hirait Lorna's team. This is another sort of ever-present part of teams now stepping as well into young riders, having ridden at 4 junior European championships, including this year. Ooh, now stay on. Lost her stirrups, managed to stay in the saddle, and there's going to be a little bit of rebuilding going on here with the 6 seconds as well to be, or will have already been added into the clock. So what it does mean, of course, is after this horse and rider combination, once they finish, we'll have seen 2 go from each of these young rider teams, and it is only the USA and Switzerland that have managed to deliver 2 clears. So impressive for them both, but at the moment, what have we got? 8 teams that could, including Sweden. Will make 9 teams that could yet finish on a 0 score if they get clears from their remaining 2 riders. So we're awfully close after the first 2 have gone in each of the teams. Far from easy when you've had a stop in a combination to have to come back and jump it again. They did a brilliant job. Really putting in a positive ride. And over with the time penalties added on, it's a total of 15 in 85.35, so discarded for the moment. So, as I said, 7 teams, if they get clears from their remaining riders, could yet still... Is it 7 teams or is it... Oh, we got... It might have just changed in front of me then. What are we on about? 8, 9 teams. We'll get the answer right in a minute. There are definitely 9. The Netherlands can best finish on 4 and Austria on 7. Now we go back to the beginning to the Swiss, of course, one of the two with 2 clears so far. Now it's Kira Ayeseli as their next rider with K35. Help the Swiss team and the young riders to the top 6 this summer. Running away from the wall though. Wasn't given a lot of chance to correct that. Comes back to have had any trouble on the second attempt. Still a possibility they can get within the time, and if they can keep the score to 4, that'll benefit them perhaps if there's a problem with their last rider. So he has gone up a gear, really coming round to the water with pace as they would perhaps needed to anyway, but it is still going to actually bring them a couple of time penalties. How many we will see? Just the 2. It is 6 as a total for Kira Elisi and the Swiss team. So Linus Hanselmann could yet bring home the Swiss team on 0. It's the Italians now. David Vitali riding Leicester, or David I should say. So the Italians, who have a 4 and a clear so far. It's unfortunate. I've expected that fence to actually go down more often than it has, but it's the first time it's fallen after the combination. Well, the news for Italy is that for the moment they could yet finish on 4, but it would mean also at worst they will finish today on a score of 8. So that was Davide Vitale, and Leicester. Victor Plaquet is next to go with Ilifoso, and Lipso here with Vic preferred to go for Belgium. This team that have started also with a 4 and a clear. Now bringing out another part of their bronze medal winning team. Well, as we know, they're not the first to have run into a bit of an issue with the triple bar. Happened to Kira Stout, the British rider, a little bit earlier on. And the team just having a bit of a rebuild. Positive riding coming back to the triple bar. Clock should start again at some point. A very professional response to the difficulties of the triple bar. I'm unable to tell you whether there are any time penalties at the moment because the reading you have in the screen is the same as I have here. So certainly 4 for jumping, and in fact there is time penalties. There's 10 of those, which I guess is not overly surprising. So nevertheless, it is 15 that can be held as a discard. Belgium moving on to a team score of 4. Well, after 2 riders had gone, the team for Great Britain were holding on to a discard of 16, having had a clear from their opening rider. Next to go, it is the turn of these two. And Glenn Watkin-Jones riding Levi Est d'Or. That is a shame. Not quite sure what's happened to our clock, so I'm going to ignore it for the moment.
For jumping, we have Glenn Watkin-Jones and Levi Est d'Or for the team of Great Britain.
Well, it was just the 4, I think, for Glenn. The system's having a bit of a wobble at the moment, and because I can't see every fence, I don't want to comment on something that I'm not exactly sure what happened. But it is 4. It has eventually shuffled its way through. Glenn Watkin-Jones 4 and Levi Est d'Or. So, British team still could get finished on a 4 with 1 rider left to go. They now done with their 3rd rider, Denmark, and Victoria Sophia Kjorf Madsen riding catwalk the 5th. Danish team with a 4 and clear so far. Also on the 4, of course, has an impact on the score for Denmark. As you'll see, it's time as well. 2 for those, 6 in all. Victoria Sophia, Horup Madsen and Catwalk. So 6 penalties. So that at least can be held as a discard for the moment for the Danish team. It does mean, though, 4 is their best potential outcome. Meanwhile, the next team in the line is the Netherlands, and the Dutch team at the moment at best could finish on a score of 4. They're holding a 5 penalty discard. Logan Frichter now riding Quebec van der Middelstedt. The Pony Europeans in 2021 on the silver medal winning team.
Intussen zijn we gestart met Nederland. We zitten bij nummer 28 met Quebec van de Middelsteden uit Otangelo uit Emerald. 28 nummer 28 voor die Netherlands, Logan Fichter.
Had a good show just recently in Valkenswaard in the young riders there. They finished in 5th place in the Grand Prix, having a podium and a 4th on the other 2 days. They were never outside the top 5 over those 3 days of jumping in the Netherlands.
Just wanna feel real love, feel the home that I live in. 'Cause I got too much life running through my veins, going to waste. I just wanna feel real love, feel the home that I live in. 'Cause I got too much life running through my veins, going to waste.
Nice big jump over the water. And the Dutch needed a good round. They've just squeezed it on the clock. So that is their first clear. Logan delivering the clear with Quebec van der Middelstedt. And allowing the team to still potentially finish on a score of 4. Well, the USA could be the first team to guarantee their 0. Swiss could have done it, but didn't. Now, the other team with 2 clears from 2 riders is the United States, and their 3rd rider is Hunter Champi, riding High Hopes SFN. Good luck to her, part of that gold medal winning team this year in Traverse City. Also a former silver medalist on the team. 2019. That was in children's. Of course, this year in the young riders, she also finished individually in the top 10.
I just wanna feel real love, feel the home that I live in. 'Cause I got too much life running through my veins, going to waste. I just wanna feel real love, feel the love ever after.
I hope she's doing a fabulous job here with Hunter. Lovely big jump. And they come towards the water, this 12-year-old gelding. A former ride of Niels Kirsten, Dutch rider. They make a tremendous pair, and that is strength from the United States, as they will guarantee themselves a 0 score here today because of 3 clears already. And still another rider to go, but it takes the pressure, therefore, off Stephanie Garrett. Next up is the 3rd rider from Team Austria. Now, the best score they can complete on today is a 7. They have an 8 as a discard. Antonia Wexelbrom riding Chalabet 3.
race, but went horseback. Up through the mountaintop, show me the land she's got. Well, it's alright, something else is on your mind. Looking past all that shines, now the tears are running too. All those things are nice, but it's not why I'm here. I will wipe away your tears, simply by just loving you. She's West California, hottest thing in West LA. House down by the water, sails her yacht across the bay. Drops a main hello, Hollywood's her favorite city. Loves to be surrounded.
After the difficulties from their opening two riders that have just left them in a slightly precarious position, this is a really brilliant round to secure the clear for the Austrian team and keep them for the moment on that score of 7, so within the 2-fence margin of the USA, who are leading. Of course, a lot can still happen tomorrow. Certainly in any team competition, things can change dramatically from one day to the next.
All the loneliness has always been a friend of mine. I'm living my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy.
Third of the Polish riders up, and Poland joining us next with this combination. So far Poland with a clear and an 8. Could they also be still in position to perhaps deliver the clear at the end? It's an important set of rounds coming up now for Poland, for Sweden, for Spain. Getting everything right at the moment are these two. Poland looking to try and keep it that they can still finish on 0. And that, oh no, there's a time penalty. 0.15 over, and it counts. Sofia Machalak. I mean, it's better than a 4, but it is still, well, it means they cannot finish on 0. And we know the USA have already finished on 0. So with Spain next to go and Sweden next to go, of course, both these teams could yet finish on 0, although they both hold discards. Spain hold a 12 penalty discard. Now Ignacio Garcia Garrido riding Saint Saconis SFM. They got a clear from their opening rider, Juan Riva Gil. But it's the 12 of Patricia's that they're holding as a discard. Haven't got a huge amount of international experience, Ignacio. So this will be a big test today. Again, that combination undoing the dream of a clear, and of course affecting importantly their abilities to be able to go any further with a 0 score. So Spain now suddenly are on 12 as the best outcome. One rider to go. So it'll be up to Sweden to try and keep a little bit of pressure on the USA if they can. Of course, Switzerland still could as well. They have 2 clears from their early riders, so a clear from Linus will be coming along soon. Could yet help the Swiss. There's the bell for the restart. important to get to the finish and try and rebuild a little bit of confidence. Got a nice stride to the last. So 30 is the score, of course, discarded for the moment, but 12 becomes Spain's best outcome today. And even for that, they're going to need a clear from Maria. So the third rider next to go for Sweden, Josephine Trell. Sweden, of course, with a clear and a 15, the 15 being the discard. This is Damosiel de Mencil, and again, Europeans this year for these two. The young riders in the Netherlands. First international outing back since those Europeans. They were on the team this year in Zuideveld and in Compiègne. Yeah, so had a fence coming out of the combination as well as that couple of late falling poles. So Sweden's chance of a zero score has gone. Of course, Sweden, the winners 12 months ago, actually, despite having a clear from Eberquanetta as their first rider, have found it far tougher since then. Josephine then down the final line. So 8 as a score, Sweden then on 8 as a team. Ida Sellen still to go. That was Josephine Torrold. So there is one rider left to go in each of the teams, 11 teams. The only teams that could yet still finish on a zero score, well, the Swiss, but they need a clear from their final rider. The USA are already guaranteed a zero. I mean, they are in pole position at the moment. It's the Swiss that are trying to keep them honest. Poland, so close, but 0.15 got in the way of a clear for Sofia. So the Polish team at best could finish on a score of 1. Belgium, Italy, Denmark, Great Britain, the Netherlands all could finish on 4 if they get a clear from their last rider. Austria 7 and Sweden 8. Spain down in 12th place. Well, it is back to where we started here with the Swiss, and they are hoping for that zero score to go level into tomorrow. Linus Hasselman here with SPJ Linaro SH. Hard to understate the importance now, this final line and this final jump, a clear round to guarantee a zero score, and that is exactly what was just delivered. So, Linus Hanselman then for Switzerland means that they and the USA will finish round 1 on a zero score, which means we will have 2 tied on 0 going in to the second round tomorrow. Tremendous news. Martina Simoni for Italy. The Italians with a clear here will guarantee a 4 penalty score. At worst, they can finish on today's 10 though. So this is Martina Simoni as the anchor rider here for Italy. Youth Europeans, children's, juniors and 2 young riders, including this year and last year. This year riding Barado, this also is Delvado. have picked up 4. So the Italian score will be 8 now. With that fence going down in the combination, of course, that means it's 8. So the Italians, this is now the discard. 8 is as high as it was ever going to get. Now that is the discard score, 12. In on the clock, 12 discarded, 8 is the score. The Italians finishing 2 fences off the lead. Next up should be the final rider for the Belgium team, another that could yet land on 4, just 1 fence away from the top 2 today. But they as easily could land on a lot more. They have a 9 penalty discard. It is the turn of their final rider, Bart J. Jr. van der Kasteel, and riding Vamos de la Pomme door Z. Rode the gold medal winning team back in 2021 at the Portuguese Europeans in Villamor. So good. Round we come to the combination. Bart J. Jr. van der Kasteel. Really positively written, coming down to that blue, pink and white. This brings you round to the final fence. Well, there we have it, over the last. And well done to Bart, because that clear round keeps Belgium at the party. They will only be the 1 fence away going through to that second round. So great news for Belgium. Next to go, Great Britain.
And the result for the home nation of Belgium on 4FD first round in the Young Riders.
So Great Britain's team so far, with that brilliant clear at the beginning from Tampa for Carl, 16, which has been discarded from Kira Stout. Glenn Watkins Jones scoring 4, and it is the score of 4 they're on as Jennifer Billington is about to get things started. Jumps through that well. Coming up to the combination. Nice jump in, a nice jump in the middle, and a nice jump coming out. Well, at the moment, Capodarco coming down towards the last, which will be great news for Great Britain if she gets in on the clock, and she does. So there we have it. They start and finish with a clear. They can discard Kira's and count Glaine's 4. So keep the British team within a fence as well of whatever's going on in front of them. We know there will be 2 teams on 0, maybe a team on 1. We will wait to see. It is the Danish team that go next, and Denmark
Number 38 for Team Denmark.
their final rider. It is Frederik Fensholt riding Take Chance on me there. So the discard they hold is a 6. They're counting the 4, and they have a clear as well.
Man decides after 70 years that what he goes there for is to unlock the door. But those around him criticize and sleep.
Settling more and more into the round as well. He is pricked forward, really beginning to ride happily towards fences. Oh dear. They went up and down and somehow have kept going. Unbelievable. Oh, there is an amazing veterinary team here. And I hope that that horse is absolutely fine.
Unfortunately, Denmark and Frederik Fensholt take a chance on Misa.
But finishing things in terms of a score, I'm not sure what that actually ended up as. That was Frederik Fensholt. And again, the system's sort of a bit of a wobble, but the veterinary team are already there. They're just making sure everything is A-OK. You can see they're just rebuilding the water. It's, well, a moment they and none of us needed. Fingers crossed for the horse that everything is fine. We know the rider was okay. Still not done yet, so we've got what? 6 more teams to come forward. 6 more riders to go. There's the next. Oh, there's the next 2 actually. Well, I get the feeling that this, for obvious reasons, is going to be a slightly longer break than we planned. Not that we ever planned these sorts of breaks. But I can see certain bits of kit moving around, which, yeah, means the veterinary team here on site are going to want to take their time for obvious reasons, and we're going to, of course, just sit back and wait for that to unfold. There's fabulous facilities here to make sure that the horse receives world-class veterinary care. And while that's happening, because we've still got 6 riders to go, we will just take a short pause, and we could be here for a minute, or we could be here for 10. I'm honestly not sure, so we'll just wait and find out how things will work out.
Do you remember what you said when you were crying down the phone at 3 a.m.? You said that you miss me in your bed. Said Said you hate to be alone. Why the hell you trying this again? I thought I heard that you found someone new. She looks nothing like me. You look happier too. I saw your mother said you're doing just fine. I thought that you were doing alright. But last night you text me, said, "Are you still up?" You say you had a drink and you've been thinking about us. Emotional voices and talking too much. Why don't you call me when you're sober?
Hopefully all the best for the horse of Friedrich Venscholtz. 8 we had, and that means a total result of Team Denmark on 10 after the first round of this Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final. Young riders. En we volgen, dat gaan we zo dadelijk doen met een combinatie voor Team Nederland. In die eerste kwalificatie van de landenwedstrijd, de Nations Cup Youth Final. And we are following number 13 on the starting list. Last rider for the team of the Netherlands, IJsman El Riete. KWPN Nederlandse warmbloed Dutch warmblood. Gelding of for pleasure by Ramiro. Naar 39 op de startlijst. Team Nederland als volgende.
Well,
Laatste bij Team
we'll
Nederland.
move forward
Boerenkamp.
and on to the Dutch. Finbar camp now with Iceman Elright. Now the Netherlands restarting things off. Of course, we're into the final rider for these teams. The Dutch could yet still finish on a score of 4, but they're holding a 5 as a discard. The Dutch team will be jumping every fence alongside them at the moment. Finn coming into this final line, just one to go to bring the Dutch home on a 4 as a score for the team. So again, just like we saw with Great Britain and Belgium, they secure and lock in those 4, just one fence behind the leaders. So great news for the Netherlands. Big strong rounds from Logan and Finn there towards the end. The next team up should be the United States, USA. Stephanie Garrett and Darius Kazek Z. Now, to remind you, the USA have already got 3 clears, so they know they are home and dry on a 0 score in that regard. This is the individual gold winners from the final individual classification at the Young Rider North American Championships in Traverse City. Also Team Bronze last year. Well, the American young riders certainly putting some sort of marker down here, because if this continues, it could well be a full house. It is just in on the clock, delivering the clear, Stephanie Garrett. I mean, look at that. I mean, brilliant from Team USA. Mia, Laurel, Hunter and Stephanie have delivered in every single way. You would not ask for any more. So, well, they can't give any more than all jumping clear. Big day done, day one. I'm sure won't get ahead of themselves. They'll know there's another important day of jumping tomorrow, and that's just to get into the final on Sunday. Next to go, it is the turn of Austria. Now, the Austrian team could at best finish on a score of 7 if they get a clear here from Lina, Binder and Selina. Jumped to their first Young Rider Europeans this summer using this horse. Previously, had jumped 2 children's and 2 junior Europeans. Again, important round, keeps them within 2 fences of the lead. So Lina getting a clear, those clears coming from Antonia, and Lina really helping Austria not slip too far out of contention. So within a 2-fence margin, seems to be a pretty strong score for the team from Austria. 3 riders to go, 3 teams to go to complete the opening day of team action here for the young riders at these FEI Jumping Nations Cup for the youth. It is Team Poland, Lina Masuk-Zak riding with Getulon van der Rijteven. Now, this team for Poland, to remind you, they could yet finish on a score of 1 penalty. They have a clear and a 1 penalty round counting, but they are holding an 8 as a discard. We've got plenty of team experience on the European team the last 2 years. Last year with this horse as part of the team, of course, ended up in the Challenge Cup. British team actually finished 2nd in the Challenge Cup last year. They are shooting much higher this year. They're looking to try and get into the final, and they've put a pretty impressive string of rounds together today to help that cause. Just 1 penalty off the leading duo and into a clear 3rd place. So well done to Poland. Now, Spain and Sweden, the last 2 nations, last 2 riders, and both had started well with a clear initially for Spain's Juan Riva Gil. They've though had to count the 12 from Patricia and hold the 30 penalty score from Ignacio as a discard. Maria Garcia, Pertusa Bodega and Ghislaine is the last out in the anchor position for Team Spain. Well, we know that anything really that falls is counting, sadly. So 8 more will push the Spanish team on to 20. Well, by the skin of their teeth, there's nothing from the clock, but there is 12 for jumping, 24 as a score, and a difficult day for Spain after it started so brightly. It's not been a lot easier for Sweden, to be fair. They started well with a clear. The team that won here 12 months ago. And the young riders. So this is Bentley van Hugenrode Z and Ida Sellen as the last out. She rode Escape Z at the Europeans this year. Lovely little stallion that we've seen Harry Schwalders go so well on. Being an integral part of the teams from Children's in 2019 through Juniors, first year in Young Riders. Sweden, who are holding a 15 penalty discard, have already now picked up 4, so that pushes their score on to 12. Which sadly will drop them down into 10th place, ahead of Spain, but behind the rest.
We have 4 and the time on 78.80 seconds. And just
that score of 4 does push Sweden into 10th place on the opening day, as you can see, after the clear had started things off. So that means they finish ahead of Spain, who today finish on a score of 24, Sweden on 12, Denmark on 10. And then there's Italy on 8, Austria on 7, then the Netherlands are on 4, as are Great Britain and Belgium. Poland are in 3rd on a 1 penalty score. USA sitting on a clear alongside Switzerland. So that's how it stands after the opening day. Of course, those are the scores from day 1. We'll add the scores from day 2 to them tomorrow. Meanwhile, I will again leave you with some individual rides now, because they keep interspersing. We will then return with the next Nations Cup first qualifying competition, which will be for